The Chrysler brand is known worldwide for its cars, but have you ever wondered how the founder of the automobile giant lived? Hi everyone, Ken here. Today we are heading out to Long Island to uncover the residence of Walter Chrysler. Hit that subscribe button and let's explore this house. In 1875, Walter Chrysler was born in Wamego, Kansas, but it was in the small town of Ellis where he grew up and nurtured the spark that would later set the American automotive industry ablaze. His father, Hank Chrysler, a rugged Civil War veteran and locomotive engineer, instilled in him a fascination with machinery that was as boundless as the prairies around them. Young Walter would tag along with his father on railroad runs, mesmerized by the power of steam engines, the clanging of iron, and the endless potential for movement and innovation. Chrysler's journey began in earnest when he left school at the age of 15, eager to start an apprenticeship in the Union Pacific Railroad shops. There he learned the value of hard work and soaked up every bit of technical knowledge he could find. He wasn't just interested in performing his tasks, he wanted to understand the inner workings of every machine he touched, creating tools of his own to increase precision. His curiosity led him from the dusty, bustling railroad shops of Ellis to positions across the western United States, rising quickly through the ranks of railroading, gaining a reputation as a skilled mechanic and manager. In 1908, Chrysler's career took a defining turn. The newly wealthy railroad manager was captivated by a luxury automobile he saw at a Chicago auto show, the Locomobile. Despite the car's astronomical price tag, he was determined to buy it, not merely to drive, but to disassemble, study, and understand it inside and out. This relentless curiosity marked Chrysler's first steps into the automotive world. He took apart and reassembled the Locomobile repeatedly, cultivating a deep technical understanding that would prove invaluable in his next venture. A few years later in 1911, the auto industry was still in its infancy when Chrysler was approached by Charles Nash, president of Buick. Although the move meant a pay cut, Chrysler accepted, intrigued by the opportunity to apply his knowledge of machinery to an emerging industry. Buick's production line was chaotic, with inefficiencies galore. Chrysler's first move was to bring order to the manufacturing process, introducing a meticulous cost accounting system and streamlining production. Under his leadership, Buick's daily production soared from 45 cars to over 200, making it one of the most productive plants in the world. In 1916, with the company thriving, General Motors founder William C. Durant offered Chrysler an unprecedented $500,000 a year contract to lead Buick as its president. Chrysler accepted, but by 1919, tensions with Durant's management style led him to leave Buick, cashing out his GM stock for a handsome $10 million, or the modern-day equivalent of nearly $290 million. This financial windfall positioned him as an independent player in the automotive industry, ready to make his next bold move. Chrysler's reputation drew him to the ailing Willys Overland Motor Company, and shortly after, the similarly struggling Maxwell Motor Company. While his efforts at Willys Overland were thwarted by internal politics, he soon took full control of Maxwell. It was here that Chrysler finally found the freedom he sought. In 1924, he introduced the Chrysler 6, a groundbreaking vehicle with hydraulic brakes and high-compression engines that put Maxwell back on the map. The Chrysler 6's success led to the rebranding of Maxwell Motor as the Chrysler Corporation in 1925, and over the next few years, Chrysler expanded his company by acquiring the Plymouth and Dodge brands, firmly establishing his place among the titans of the automotive industry. By 1928, Chrysler Corporation was producing over 1 million cars a year, surpassing Ford and becoming the second largest automaker in the United States. Walter Chrysler's entrepreneurial journey would not be complete without mentioning his other crowning achievement, the Chrysler Building. Completed in 1930, this Art Deco skyscraper in New York City stood as the tallest building in the world for several months. Adorned with automobile-inspired motifs, the building became a monument to Chrysler's achievements, but this is getting a bit ahead in our story. Back in 1923, he headed out to Kings Point on Long Island to purchase the former estate of Henri Bendel. It had originally been built just a few years prior in 1916 and designed in the Beaux-Arts style. The main house boasted 23 rooms and even an indoor swimming pool, which we will see soon enough. The mansion was planned out with formal gardens surrounding the house, which was framed by stone balustrade and accented by dozens of terraces. Zooming out, we can get a really good feel for the overall size of this massive abode and its 450 feet of shoreline. Looking out from the rear of the house, a grand portico frames views of the water beyond an expansive lawn. As we explore the grounds, we'll come across a large swimming pool, and then as we wander further down, we'll find the docks where we can imagine his yacht coming and going throughout the summer. On the other side of his house, a sunken parterre garden extends towards a fountain, and even though the neighbor's house was just on the other side of the trees, the expert landscaping would have you believing we were in the middle of nowhere. Of course, Mr. Chrysler had a state-of-the-art 8-car garage packed full of everything a mechanic could dream of. And as far as the estate's maintenance, the superintendent's 9-room house was hidden away, not to mention several other apartments for staff scattered about the property. I think we've spent enough time exploring the grounds and amenities. Let's go ahead and make our way towards the front door. To give us a good idea of how the house is laid out, we can take a quick look at the floor plan before moving on. Heading through the vestibule, we'll make our way into the 2-story entrance hall, clad in stone, with a grand staircase sweeping off to the side. Towards the front of the house, the grand arcade we saw above the entrance hall feeds into the 2-story music room, dominated by a floor-to-ceiling pipe organ and once again clad entirely in stone. Stepping down from the music room leads us into the living room, with exposed beams soaring above the 10-foot Gothic fireplace mantel. Directly across the entrance hall from us is the dining room, once again fashioned with a floor-to-ceiling fireplace and intricately carved wooden pilasters. Let's go ahead and take the grand staircase up to the second floor, where we'll find the bedrooms, servants' quarters, and the library. Interestingly for this time period, the library is among the smaller rooms in the house, and instead of being a showpiece for a rare book collection, it is treated more as a private retreat. Downstairs in the basement, we can imagine the family using the indoor pool all year long. By the 1930s, Chrysler had transitioned away from daily operations, leaving his trusted team to run the company. In 1938, after a stroke and the passing of his beloved wife Della, Chrysler's health began to decline. He passed away on August 18th of 1940 at his Long Island home. Today, Walter P. Chrysler is remembered not only as a pioneer who challenged industry giants, but as a visionary who embodied the spirit of American innovation. As for his Long Island estate, it was sold to the government where it found new life as the United States Merchant Academy. From the moment you step through the front door, it is evident that it has been exceptionally maintained and cared for throughout the years. Everything from the stone fireplaces to the parquet floors appears in immaculate condition, as if though completely untouched by time. Even though the furniture and artwork have largely been changed out, many of the rooms remain as they did when Walter Chrysler called the estate home. What did you think about the mansion? Did you have a favorite room or architectural detail? Let me know down below in the comments section. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to our This House supporters for making videos like this one possible. If you would like to see your name on the screen and contribute in part to the production of these videos, join our membership program today. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time on This House.